Igor, very good afternoon to you. You're in Croatia, right?
Yes, that's right.
It's a good morning here in Toronto. And tell me, have I got the name correct? Is it the Croatian balloon team, or is it the? Tell me the exact.
Yeah, we go with the Croatian hot air balloon team or Croatia hot air balloon team. There's actually a couple of clubs that we run here in Croatia, but when we go to foreign events or competitions, we are all under the umbrella of the Croatian hot air balloon team.
All right, and I last saw you over in Qatar,
Yes.
just around December time, and you've just been back in the Middle East. You've been in Saudi.
Yes, exactly. I mean, after a long hiatus of not traveling anywhere, last two of our big trips were in the desert. We went first in Doha, in Qatar, and then now in Saudi Arabia for a week, but actually only 4 days of flying. There's actually plenty of teams there that stayed for the long version of like 10 days, so they're still there and flying.
It looked spectacular. I've seen quite a few things coming out of Saudi these last 12 months, really, especially with the Neon project. There's been a big base jumping thing there and some motocross things going on. They're really pushing the sports.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Look, I think this is the third edition of the event, and I've been looking at those photos for 2 years now. I think it was 2019 and then 2020. I might be wrong, but just before the lockdown. And you know, if you're a balloonist, you have all of these balloonist friends, and then the images start pouring in your news feed, and you're looking at this, and it's just amazing. So we got an opportunity to go this year, and I really want to thank everybody at the organization. It was stunning. Saudi Arabia opened up some like maybe 5 years ago. They had no tourism before, but now they're really investing in it. It's located next to this town of Al Ola, which is a very peculiar and amazing rock structures surrounding it. And it's a charming little town that's being really developed as a tourist hotspot. To me, I think maybe in 5 years, if you're looking at the plans, it's going to be like Moritz or St. Moritz or Aspen of the desert, because they're really investing in high-end tourism. And then there's this location of Madain Saleh, where you have these fantastic, amazing monumental tombs just dotted across these rocks. And it's basically the same peoples that developed, Petra in Jordan, that
Yes.
used to be their capital, but they spread south on the these, I guess, travel, but also commerce routes. Yeah. So it is the same. It is the same architecture. It is the same people. But it's wonderful because every day you take off from this one spot and you fly over. You can fly really low, and it takes you to a next valley where you can land. It's just amazing. And the organization is fantastic. Plus 150 balloons this year.
Wow.
And there's not a lot of events in the world that bring 150 balloons. And when you have them just dotting this amazing landscape, it's out of this world. We were all lost for words.
Tell me a bit about the logistics, actually landing in Saudi and getting to the location and accommodation. How was that?
Well, look, everything was sort of last moment when we got the confirmation till we went there. But the organization was just great. We didn't have to worry about anything. The only thing we needed to do was get a balloon on the pallet, and we had drop-off locations where we could drop them off in Europe. It was supposed to be only 2 of them, but then later there was more. So for us, it was a couple of hours drive. We got it to Bratislava, and then we got our tickets, and we sat on the plane and we got there. It was a pilot plus 1 crew. Yeah. And a balloon. The balloon had to be big enough so it could carry 2 passengers, and preferably with no logo. Luckily, we had one in the club. we went, and also we had a Slovenian friends that went with us. So we all traveled from Zagreb, and then Paris, Cairo, and then in Medina. And once we got to Medina, there's a wonderful hotel next to the airport. Everybody just congregated there. And the next day, we were supposed to all get rental cars, but they had some issues. I mean, the organizers are really trying to work it out, but even the Saudis are sort of working out their tourism part. So getting 150 cars is hard, but they managed to get the buses to those who don't have the car, and everything worked out fine. And then it was a 4-hour drive to Al Ola, and there we settled. We have a wonderful reception at this resort in these rocks. It was just incredible. And then next day, after we unpacked the balloons, the next day the flying started. Logistics was actually really great because the balloons got there earlier, and then they had this really big tent organized as 150 balloons, 10 by 10, each had a little tent where they unloaded. So once we got there, we unpacked everything and they had the tanks refilled. And then every morning we would have a local driver with a come and pick up the balloon. There was also the logistics crew that helped load it. And then we would go flying. After the flight, we would unload it, also with the help of these great, super great guys that were always there, always available. So although there was only 2 people with the balloon, and some of those balloons were big, the organization was just great, and there was always somebody to help you out. So that was great. Awesome. And then we flew every morning, and then people rotated on the night glows and the tethers in the evening.
And the conditions were favorable and good all the time?
Oh, look, I mean, we've been looking now. We have all this big WhatsApp group with everybody on it, and we've been looking at the flying after we went, and the weather sort of deteriorated. But for those 4 days, it was amazing. It was bright skies, perfect winds. Even we had these box conditions where you could fly over these rocks, and then you would climb up and just fly back, and you could, like in Albuquerque, you could do the box. It was just perfect. And, there's no really restrictions apart from not landing in this fenced area, but you can fly really low, and balloonists love doing this. So you can do all of these contour flying, and you cross one rock, and you see, another rock or more of these tombs. It's just great. And the winds were pretty mild. They were sort of picking up on the ground, but you have this vast areas to land, so there was just no problems.
Amazing. So it sounds like an absolute dream.
Oh yeah, look, if it starts developing the way they think, I really hope they keep with this, because it has potential to be one of the greatest balloon festivals, just because of the location, and the people are there. They're really hospitable, really friendly, and in the future there's not a lot of places like this where you can constantly get these winds traveling, from one place to another and just flying over this magnificent area. It reminded me of Turkey, of early Cappadocia, maybe Bagan, where there's just this specific area, and the best way to see it is from a balloon. I guarantee it. We went later to see it, on a bus tour, and nothing beats just flying over it in a balloon. So in the future, I kind of see this growing and ballooning really taking hold there.
Incredible. And what have we got coming up now in the next few weeks or months? What are your plans?
Oh yeah, well, there's the CIA or the FAA conference in Rome that we're heading to, and then there's going to be Slovenian Open Championship in April, and then hopefully some of our events in May, and then just prepping for the big event in the fall, and the World Championship in Slovenia. That's the big thing this year.
Yeah, great. Well, Igor, it's been great to catch up with you, and we'll check back in a few months' time and see how your spring and summer's going on. But thank you for that great look at this Saudi event, and we look forward to next year. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.